What's up, Wistoria fans? We're back with episode 6, and the heat is on, literally and figuratively. This episode is jam-packed with magical duels, deep-rooted rivalries, and a couple of surprise revelations. Buckle up, because we're diving into the Grand Magic Festival where friendships are tested, egos are bruised, and spells are flying faster than you can blink. So, grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's jump into the chaos. We begin with Cion, who's having a bit of a tantrum. In case blowing up half a forest wasn't dramatic enough, he almost fries Will along with it. Poor Will is left standing there, confused and slightly singed, wondering if he got attacked or if he just walked into a bonfire. Meanwhile, Cion's got no time for explanations. He's mad, and when Cion's mad, things catch on fire. Enter Julius, who, in classic let-me-make-things-worse fashion, conjures up a massive ice wall to separate Will and Cion. Colette, ever the sensible one, tries to calm everyone down because clearly no one else has enough common sense to do so. She knows Will is about to face Julius in the Grand Magic Festival, and the last thing they need is a brawl before the main event. But of course, Cion's not listening. He's done being the nice guy. He challenges Will to a fight, but Will, still recovering from the shock of almost getting roasted, doesn't even know what's going on. Cion isn't just mad, he's furious. And when Will asks for an explanation, Cion's response is essentially, "I don't need a reason to crush you." Yep, that's the level of salt we're dealing with. Colette tries to intervene again, but before she can stop them, Cion hurls another fiery spell, forcing Will to backflip out of harm's way. Just when the tension is high, the episode throws us into a flashback that gives us some much-needed backstory on why Cion is so mad. A decade ago, when Elfaria left the academy, Will became the school's favorite punching bag. Bullied for his lack of magical talent, he just wanted to be left alone. But Cion? Oh no, he couldn't stand watching it. He hated seeing Will being treated like dirt, so he tried to stand up for him by burning the bully's notes. But here's where things got weird. Will didn't care, like at all. He just told Cion to leave him alone, giving him a cold, dead-eyed stare that could make anyone uncomfortable. And that's when Cion's frustration turned into resentment. He couldn't understand why Will didn't fight back, why he didn't show any emotion. From that moment on, Cion started hating Will. Not just because of the bullying, but because Will's indifference drove him up the wall. Cion's going full-on attack mode, throwing spell after spell at Will, who's doing his best just to survive. He's deflecting everything, but it's clear that Cion's not holding back. Will's sword gets knocked out of his hand, flying several meters away, leaving him defenseless. But even now, Will isn't interested in fighting his friend. He keeps trying to talk Cion down, reminding him they're on the same team. But Cion's not hearing it. He's determined to take Will down, no matter what. Suddenly, Julius, our favorite ice mage, decides to complicate things even further by summoning more spells. Colette's desperate to stop them from fighting, but it's too late. The battlefield is now split into chaos. Ice walls are going up, flames are being thrown, and in the middle of all this, Will is just trying to figure out how to get his sword back. At one point, Cion taunts him, asking if he's going to spend the rest of the fight running away like an animal. Ouch. But Will stays calm, focused. He has no intention of hurting Cion, but he's also not going to let himself get roasted alive.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Just when it seems like the fight's about to reach a breaking point, Cion pulls out the big guns. He summons a guardian falcon, made entirely of fire. This thing is massive and deadly, and it's clear that Cion's not messing around anymore. Will's first thought is to try and cut its wings to create an opening, but that plan quickly backfires, literally. The falcon regenerates faster than Will can react, attacking him from multiple sides with fiery claws. Will realizes this isn't just an ordinary guardian. Normally, these creatures are used for defense or to buy time for their summoner, but Cion's falcon is attacking relentlessly, which doesn't add up. This moment gives us some insight into just how far Cion's magic has come. Even Edward, one of the expert scouts watching the fight, is impressed. The scouts from the Flame Emperor's faction can't believe what they're seeing. Cion's ability to summon an offensive guardian is something they didn't expect, and they start murmuring about reporting his progress to the Flame Emperor. It's a big moment for Cion, but all Will can focus on is how to avoid getting roasted. Will fights back, but with reason. Finally, after dodging flames and deflecting spells for what feels like forever, Will decides it's time to go on the offensive. He grabs his sword and faces Cion head-on, but not out of anger. Will's not here to prove a point. He's here to protect his promises. He reminds Cion of their responsibilities, of the people depending on them. Will has to keep his promises to Mr. Donan and the others, and he can't waste time fighting with his friend. But Cion's too far gone in his rage to listen. In a last-ditch effort, Cion casts a massive fire spell, one of the most powerful in his arsenal. It's clear that this is his all-or-nothing move. Will, however, has seen this spell's path before, and instead of defending, he does the unexpected. He jumps into the spell's line of destruction, timing it perfectly so he can counter the attack. Cion is stunned. He didn't see this coming. Will's precision and strategy catch him completely off guard, and for a moment it seems like the fight is over. But before Will can land the final blow, Colette steps in, casting a massive earth spell that throws up a wall between them. Will crashes into the wall and falls to the ground, winded but not out of the fight. Both he and Cion are shocked to see Colette standing there in a burnt outfit, clearly having just finished her own battle with Julius. Will's confused. What happened to Julius? Colette, ever the badass, just shrugs and says, "I kicked his butt." But then he vanished. Cion, now completely flustered, scolds Colette for showing up in such a scandalous state. But Colette's not having it. She fires back, saying it's his fault for nearly burning down the whole place. Will, being the gentleman he is, covers Colette with his coat, thanking her for stopping the fight. She blushes, obviously. Before leaving, Will assures Cion that they'll have a real fight in the future. But for now, they need to focus on the bigger picture. As the episode winds down, Julius and Squad 9 enter the stadium, completely unscathed. Mike, realizing his bet on Wignall is about to go down the drain, starts panicking. But then, in true heroic fashion, Will flies into the stadium using his special wire gear, shocking everyone. He's in full serious mode now, and he challenges Julius to a fight in front of all the scouts, setting the stage for what promises to be an epic showdown in the next episode. And that's a wrap for episode 6 of Wistoria. With friendships on the line, magic flying everywhere, and the stakes higher than ever, this episode gave us a roller coaster of emotions. What did you think of Cion's big outburst? And what's next for Will and Julius in the competition? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next recap. Until then, stay magical.